What if I told you something that might completely reshape the way you see yourself? Something so simple, yet so overlooked, that you've probably walked around your entire life underestimating your true intelligence without even realizing it. Not because you're wrong or lacking, but because real intelligence almost never looks like what society tells you it should. It doesn't always appear as straight A's, a genius-level IQ, or a perfectly polished list of achievements. Sometimes, intelligence hides in the subtle places. Inside traits you once labeled as too emotional, too intense, too sensitive, or just who I am. And if you recognize yourself in the signs that follow, you may quietly belong to the top 5% of highly intelligent thinkers, even if you've never seen yourself that way. Intelligence isn't only logic, memory, or academic performance. It's the ability to adapt, observe, connect patterns, analyze your emotions, understand people, and decode the world around you. Yet here's the twist most people never hear. The most intelligent individuals rarely believe they're intelligent. They doubt themselves, question their thoughts, and assume that everyone else thinks the same way, when in truth, they absolutely don't. That's why today we're diving into 12 powerful psychological indicators of high intelligence, backed by neuroscience and behavioral studies, so you can finally understand the brilliance you may have overlooked in yourself. Growing up, many of us were taught that intelligence means being good at math, memorizing facts, or performing well on standardized tests. But science now recognizes at least 8 major forms of intelligence: emotional, analytical, musical, linguistic, social, spatial, creative, and introspective. This means millions of people with extraordinary minds have grown up believing they're average simply because they didn't fit the outdated definition society imposed. They carried thoughts like, "I'm just normal," "I'm not that smart," or "everyone else is probably better than me," never knowing that their everyday behaviors reveal far more about their intellectual depth than any test ever could. So if you're ready, here are the 12 signs you may be much smarter than you think. First, you generate ideas non-stop. Not because you're scattered, but because your mind naturally produces possibilities, insights, and creative solutions. Truly brilliant people aren't defined by one breakthrough moment. They're defined by the sheer volume of ideas they create. Second, your humor is unusual, dark, or misunderstood. Complex humor requires a fast, layered mind, and if the majority don't get your jokes while a select few adore them, your brain is operating on a higher level of pattern recognition. Third, you remember tiny details others forget. A sentence from years ago, a specific smell, a fleeting moment no one else noticed. This isn't oversensitivity, it's advanced information processing. Fourth, you daydream constantly, even at inconvenient times. Neuroscience shows that high IQ brains drift because they're working overtime. Daydreaming isn't distraction, it's deep internal thinking. Fifth, you understand your emotions with surprising clarity. Most people simply feel. Intelligent people analyze what they feel and why. This self-awareness is a core form of cognitive and emotional intelligence. Sixth, you prefer solitude over meaningless interaction. Intelligent minds often require quiet to recharge, reflect, and process. Solitude isn't isolation, it's strategic energy management. Seventh, you learn music or rhythm unusually fast. A strong sense of timing or melody indicates musical pattern recognition, an underrated marker of advanced intelligence. Eighth, you're comfortable with uncertainty. While others panic without clear answers, you stay calm because you understand that complex problems require patience and deep thinking. Ninth, you overthink, imagine too much, or worry often. Not because you're weak, but because your brain constantly analyzes possibilities, predicts outcomes, and explores scenarios. Overthinking is often the shadow side of high imagination and high intelligence. 10th, your workspace looks messy, but fuels creativity. Research shows creative thinkers thrive in environments filled with stimuli, and what others see as clutter is often your mind externalized. 11th, you spend time doing nothing, yet your mind is racing. Silence and stillness allow you to reflect, connect dots, and mentally train at a deeper level than most people ever do. 12th, you enter deep flow states when inspiration strikes. When an idea hits you, the world disappears, hours pass like minutes, and your focus becomes razor sharp, a hallmark of exceptional intellectual engagement. If you recognize 5 or more of these signs, you're likely operating at a higher level than 95% of people around you. But intelligence alone doesn't create a meaningful or successful life. It must be shaped, directed, and activated. Mastering your focus ensures your powerful mind works for you instead of scattering your potential. Building the right environment, whether minimal or creatively chaotic, can exponentially increase your clarity and innovation. Turning overthinking into foresight transforms anxiety into prediction power, allowing you to prepare rather than panic. Honoring your solitude gives your mind the spaciousness it needs to grow, learn, create, and reset. And applying your analytical skills to your finances, investments, and long-term planning can turn your intelligence into freedom. Because being smart is not just about thoughts, it's about direction. The truth you need most is this: you don't need to prove your intelligence to anyone. You don't need validation. Your brilliance reveals itself in how you observe, think, feel, analyze, and evolve. Intelligence isn't a privilege, it's a responsibility. A responsibility to rise higher, to build a life aligned with the power of your mind, and to become the most fully realized version of yourself. You were never average. You were simply unrecognized. And if you saw yourself in these signs, comment, "I'm smarter than I thought," and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more psychology, finance, and self-growth videos designed to unlock your potential and transform your future, because the genius inside you is only just beginning to awaken.